Hey guys, in today's video, I would like to talk about how we can manage our source code and compiled code in Shopify 2.0. And this applies to stores with a build pipeline. So they use some kind of package to transpile or transform their code into something that's Shopify readable. What a build pipeline allows us to do is allows us to use developer-friendly code, and this can allow code to be more performant or themes to be more performant. And there's a lot of extra functionality that it incorporates, and it's definitely something that I think all the big stores do. But I won't get into that now. I'm gonna try and keep today's video quite short and just give a basic overview of Git subtree and how you can manage source and compiled code with the 2.0 release. So let's get straight into it. So the cool thing about the GitHub integration with Shopify is that you can, of course, use version control, which allows for more kind of quality control with regards to what can be released and what can't be released, and also allows for backfilling. So now when merchants make changes on the storefront using the customizer, all those changes are set back up to the branch connected to the theme, and that allows like a two-way kind of flow between dev changes and merchant changes, and it prevents kind of this mix up or overriding each other's work and stuff like that. So it's a really great feature on Shopify's behalf. So how do they solve this problem of mixing compiled and source code? Like, because if you mix it together, it can be quite messy, and you can get in situations where work is overwritten, and of course we don't want that. And it's generally a lot better to keep source code and compiled code separate, so that you can see what changes are being made and by whom. So their solution was to use Git subtree, and there's some documentation that they provide here, and they give some strategies you can use. The recommended strategy is to use branches, which is what I'm going to go through today. The other strategies you can read up in more detail on their documentation. I'll post this link somewhere. So what is Git subtree? It's just a reference to another repository or branch within a repository or branch. So I've got my poor paint skills here kind of illustrate what I was trying to show. So you have branch 1 and branch 2 before. Then after performing the git subtree command, now branch 2 is part or within branch 1's directory. And it has its own folder or subfolder. I've called this one dist. So let me show you what this looks like. So if I open up my code editor here, and you see I have a dist folder here, and that's branch 2 in my diagram. So if I show you my branches now, branch section. Then we have Shopify theme. So this is my second branch, or the subtree, and this is my main branch, the parent branch, you could say. So Shopify themes contains the Shopify ready compiled code. So Shopify requires a specific folder structure, and this branch adheres to that folder structure. However, my main branch does not really adhere to it outside of the subtree. So I have my source code here, and I've kind of laid it out how I want to lay it out in terms of the directory structure. I'm using SCSS, which Shopify doesn't really like, and I'm using ES6, and I have minification minification tools that takes all this source code, and when it's compiled, it's kind of unreadable. And there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with Webpack, and that's for another video. So how do we go ahead and create a subtree? It's very simple. Just one command, which I've added here. So I'll copy this. Then I'll go back to my code editor. Clear this. So here we have git subtree add, and dash prefix, and then the local directory I want to appear in my parent directory or parent branch. I'm gonna call it dist. I've called it this, and then the remote repo URL, which is just here. Oops, daisy. And then the remote branch, the subtree branch, by theme. And the dash squash is just so that all those commits are squashed into one. So that'll be the command, and that's how you make the subtree. So then there'll be a connection between branch 2 and branch 1 via this directory here, this dist directory. So now, how would the process work in Shopify world? So the way it would work is, if I go back here, I go back to my file here. So what would happen was branch 2, which is my compiled code, and branch 1, which is my source code. Let's say I make a change in the source code here. Okay, I make a change, and then I need to compile the code in branch 1 and push it to branch 2, and vice versa. Let's say Shopify merchant makes a change about the customizer, a commit will automatically be made in this branch here. So if I go to this branch in GitHub, Shopify theme, you can see there's Shopify Online Store update. So that was a commit from the customizer, and we just made some changes to some settings, and that automatically gets triggered by Shopify. So subtree provides us that two-way kind of relationship. So the way we do that with code or with our terminal is, first we want to make a change. So I'm going to add these two white space removers here, and now I'll use fork because I find it's a lot easier than typing in stuff in the terminal. So stage this, and then I commit. So I don't know, remove white space. So I made a commit now. I made a change. So now imagine someone's made changes in the customizer. So I need to check out to the compiled code branch. I need to run a git pull. It's already up to date, but just imagine that changes have been made. So I've pulled those changes in. And now we want to check out back to our main branch. And now we want to run a git subtree pull. So the same as git subtree add command, except for replacing add with pull. And what this does is it gets all the changes in the subtree and pulls them into this folder in our first branch or main branch. So if I git subtree pull, so now it would add all the changes to this folder here. And now we need to run a build because we've only committed the changes in our source folder. Now we need to run a build. So in my package.json, I have a build command here, which just runs some Webpack stuff, which just transpiles all this source code into compiled code and into the correct folders. So I'm going to run npm run build. Like so. Okay, so now it's when I build. So now if I check my fork, you'll see that this folder, this is all the compiled stuff now. So now we need to run one more commit. I'm going to call this subtree commit. Then I commit this. And now I want to push the stuff to the subtree. So now instead of get subtree pull, I'm going to do get subtree push and the same arguments for the command. And this is going to push all the stuff to my Shopify theme branch. Okay, and then when it hits my Shopify theme, because there's a GitHub integration with this branch and my theme, Shopify is going to pull all this code into the theme, and my changes are going to be live. And that's essentially it for the Get Subtree flow, or at least the one that I've used for a little while. There might be a better way to do it. It might be a cleaner way, but that's the one I have. And I haven't really seen any documentation like this online, so hopefully this helps someone. Anyway, thank you for listening. Peace.